So the child fainted in class. And when the other students went to report, the teacher just said, wacheni ataamka peke yake. Hi, good people. Karibuni sana to yet another episode of the Cousin Coded podcast. This is our 4th episode, and I am so excited to be here. I am excited even for the consistency. We are here to learn and unlearn things together. So karibuni sana. We appreciate the feedback on the previous episode, the comments, the shares, and even for subscribing. We appreciate you guys. We are requesting that you share and ask your friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let us grow together, and we're gonna be okay. By the end of the year, we're gonna be looking back and really be happy that we have grown as much as we will have grown. So last week we were speaking about a topic that you guys were very interested in. The comments even on my WhatsApp, it was really heartwarming. And today we are here with another topic. A topic that is a little bit sensitive, but we are not gonna be here blaming anybody. It's not a blame game. It is just us and learning new things. So karibuni sana as we unpack this one. And today we're gonna talk about children and how we respond to when they tell us something. For instance, imagine yourself as a 14-year-old. You are in class, you're not feeling well. You raise your hand, tell the teacher that you're not feeling well, and all the teacher will tell you is, go sit down, you will be okay. So have we normalized not believing our children, even in the school setup? Even as parents, that is also. As parents, when a child tells you they are not feeling well, especially on a school day, do you believe them, or do you think they are lying because they do not want to go to school? So in the school setup, when a child comes to you as a teacher, and maybe they are doing an exam, they are in the exam period, and they come to you saying they're not feeling well, what do you do as a teacher? I think for quite a long time, because even when I was in school, I went to a very strict school, a sister school, and when we were sick, you wouldn't even imagine yourself going to the nurse station, because if the head teacher found you there, hey, it was something else. We had a very, very strict head teacher. That was a sister. She was so strict, and I know people who went to school with me can attest to this. If sister found you at the nurse station, you would be beaten. It was as if you were pretending, and maybe you just wanted to go home. And maybe sometimes it wasn't, as a student, maybe a 14-year-old right now, when they are critically, they're not feeling well, not even critically, they're not feeling well. And, they don't know how to say, maybe something serious like, I cannot breathe, or maybe I'm having something, a cardiac, or whatever, those medical terms, yeah? So all they'll say is maybe I'm feeling weird. As a grown-up, are we in a position to know how to react when a child tells you, I feel weird? Yeah. So one thing I'm gonna say is, sometimes delay is very deadly. When a child comes to you, it is even better an inconvenience than a situation where it turns deadly. At least if a child tells you they're not feeling well, just follow it up. Also, in a school setup, our teachers, are they trained enough to know on how to handle such a situation? Who do they call? Or is it a situation where a child goes to the teacher and the teacher has to go to the management, which again is also a lot of delays? And also, in school setups, are our schools equipped enough to handle medical emergencies? Because I feel like since way back when we were still in school, it used to be, I'm not feeling well, maybe I'm having trouble breathing, you're given pain medication. And it's still happening even right now. When a child goes to a teacher for instance, and says, I am not feeling well, most likely they're given Maramoja or Panadol, which I think is self-medicating, and sometimes you don't even know what is ailing that student. Then you end up giving the child medication, send them back to class, then something happens. There's a case I read of a student in a certain school. I am not going to mention schools. There's a child who went to the teacher. No, it wasn't even going to the teacher. The child fainted. So the child fainted in class. And when the other students went to report, the teacher just said, wacheni ataamka peke yake. Then the child goes for a very, very long time. They're not awake. Then it goes to a point the child is sent, wakes up eventually, then goes to the hospital and eventually succumbs. You know, sometimes you don't even know what is the situation, and sometimes it's even something deadly. Or sometimes there's a case recently of a child in a school in Machakos. That child had pneumonia. Can you imagine how long that pneumonia had to build up until a child had to die? So I think I feel like as schools, we are not prepared enough for medical emergencies. For instance, they are not trained nurses. Are the teachers knowledgeable on when to call for medical assistance? Maybe around, if there's an hospital just around the school, do we have numbers of the hospital that we can call in case of an emergency? Because I feel like we're just taking it too lightly, and it eventually ends up being deadly, which, there's been a very big number of students dying in school recently. Like this year alone, and we're just in February, we have like 4 cases. 4 cases is a lot. Kitambo, we never used to hear of such cases as much as even back then when we were in school. Maybe we used to hear a lot about mtu alikuwa mgonjwa, went to the nurse station, was given pain medication. But then, I don't know what used to happen, but then we never used to hear of these cases. Maybe they were there, maybe we were just kids, we didn't even hear about them. But in the school I went to, I never heard of a child that died. But nowadays, the numbers are going high. Because if you're just in the 2nd month of the year and we already have 4 cases, those are the cases that we already know. What about the cases that we don't know? So I feel like we are ignoring a lot. Can we learn to listen to these kids? Because sometimes, even as psychologically, what are we training these kids that a kid will come to you, tell you they're not feeling well, you just ignore that, you just brush it off. What are we training them? That even when they have serious cases, maybe not even an issue in regards to health, maybe when they have any other issue, will they come to you? Because if they came to you with an issue of health and you just brushed it off. So imagine this child has something else they want to come tell you, and they can't come tell you because they feel like they will not take me serious. So even psychologically, I think we are programming these kids to just take danger. They're growing into adults that will just see something as a danger and just ignore it, because that is what we have programmed them to feel. So I think we need to equip our schools, first of all. I think our schools need to be equipped with medical personnel, people who are trained, especially to handle children, because we cannot have, we know right now teachers are very overwhelmed. So you cannot be handling, as a teacher is handling the education part, is also handling the health part. So we need to have personnel who is trained, someone who is very trained to handle kids. And also as parents, I saw somewhere on social media on a page that this issue was also being discussed. One of the teachers came out and said, sometimes they even call the parents, and the parents just ignore it. Also part of that clique of parents where we just ignore. I have a 14-year-old. We're not saying that and that these kids do not fake. Sometimes they do, and we know them. So sometimes even my son will come to me, maybe they're doing exams, and he will tell me, "Mom, naumwa na tumbo," but I will ignore it. For the first time, I have. It's not like that for the first time. I have ignored it. I have just brushed it off like, iyo ni uongo. You will not even say iyo ni uongo, but you will tell them they will be okay. Then also, so as parents, can we also start believing our children? As I have said earlier, it is better an inconvenience than something turns deadly. It is better that child misses an exam. It is better that child misses a school day. Go to the hospital. It is better you go to the hospital, be told it is nothing, than ignore. Then later on, it ends up being something very serious. So we are making it so hard for the teachers, because it is not necessarily a boarding school, because even a day school, you will be called during the day. Maybe you're even at work, but because you're at work, you just ignore it. So you leave the teacher with no option than to just tell the child to stay in class. So can we also, as parents, try to pull up our socks? So I've spoken about the inconvenience, I've spoken about psychology. So as solutions, I have also given to have those three things I have said. So I'm going to propose this as policies, even for maybe schools. One, can we also try, as much as teachers, we know we are overwhelmed as teachers, but can teachers be maybe a little bit of education on first aid? Just first aid, the most basic. Ile tu the teacher can handle a small problem, when a child maybe has fainted, they know what to do, just the first aid before the child is taken to the hospital. I think that is way better because it is safer. So can we have at least mandatory first aid and emergency training for the teachers? Number two, can also the teachers, even as a child complains, maybe in a boarding school setup or something, maybe even at this school, can we have the teachers documenting complaints? Maybe a child has come to you today, said they're feeling stomach pains. They come back tomorrow. Maybe today they were given something, tomorrow again they come. Can we learn to document so that even when they're taken to hospital, you're asked, how long has this child been complaining of maybe this condition, maybe this pain? Can we have documentation of, I know this child has complained for this and this, maybe for a week, they have been complaining about the stomach issues. So I think those two things are the things I'm gonna propose for the schools. One, let us train teachers. I don't think it's very expensive, because you just go to a nearby hospital, speak to them. Maybe one of the doctors will just come in and train the teachers on how to handle such situations. Maybe a child has fainted, just a first aid peke yake tu. And then number two, let teachers learn how to document these cases. Maybe the children's complaints. Kama ame complain for a week, the teacher has that information. Yeah. So believing children's. No, what is children's? Believing children is just saving a life. It is rather an inconvenience. I'll say that again. It is rather an inconvenience than maybe a situation turns into a deadly situation that we would not all want. Yeah. So this is just an episode that I wanted to highlight kidogo, because it has been on the rise. These cases have really risen, and it is not fair that we are not believing our children. Remember, these are kids that we are training to handle situations even in the future. So can we just learn to believe these children? Sometimes it's not all about pretense. Sometimes it is just a child in a situation, and ignoring it is not really helping us or them. Yeah. So I hope we learned something from this episode, and let us build it up on the comment section. Tell us of a situation that you have handled, you have been in. Just let us build it up on the comment section. Let us talk, and it is exciting to be here and learn with you guys. So let's see, maybe as I'm gonna be reading, maybe in the next episode I will be reading on the comments that will have come up, and maybe it's gonna even build up on the next topic. So asanteni sana for being here, for listening to me. I hope we learn and grow together. Asanteni sana. I have been your host, Georgina Nduko. Adios.